And we have returned. Welcome back to the stream, everybody. That was a song called Witchcraft by the Spiders. So yeah, I'm back. I was going to stream on Wednesday, but I just got too bloody tired. It's been a long week, and I have not been sleeping well. I've been waking up practically every morning at around 5 o'clock, and not really being able to get to sleep again after that. And this is after not going to sleep until after midnight, so as you can imagine, it's kind of fucked me up a little bit. Because, on top of that, I still worked all week, so yeah, there's also that. So unfortunately, this means that I'm probably not going to be able to get as much done for the Halloween Spooktacular this year as I would like, but at the very least, let's see if I can finish off Alan Wake, and, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to go through all the games in the Haunted PS1 demo disc as well, plus a couple other little things I've got in mind to do by the end of the month. That being said, of course, due to me being wickedly tired, I wasn't able to start till late tonight, because I kind of fell asleep on the couch after I got home from work. So we're just going to be carrying on with some Alan Wake. I'll try to play as much of this as I can, because I'm hoping to knock this one out in a couple of more streams, but we'll see what happens. Now, something that's not helping the fact that I just simply can't sleep anymore, at least not well, is probably the fact that I ingest way too much caffeine. But also, I need to stay awake and alert while I'm streaming, so here I am drinking a cup of coffee at, like, 8:30 in the evening. But I don't have to really be anywhere tomorrow, so, I can stay up as long as I want and completely screw up my sleep schedule. Yeah, that's fine. That makes sense, right? That makes perfect sense. No, it's cool. It's cool. So without further ado, let's switch over to the Steam tab and start Alan Wake. Now, if I remember correctly, I last left off on the run from a psychotic FBI agent who's trying to kill me. Typical Friday night. I think that puts me in chapter 3? Yeah, because I gotta make my way to the coal mine to meet up with the kidnapper. Escape out. Authorized personnel only. You can't tell me what to do.
I had never been this glad to see the sunrise. I had a couple of hours to get to the coal mine. The coal mine wasn't far now.
It'd be really funny if this is the end of episode 3, and I could have ended episode 3 last stream, and I did. No, okay, alright. I didn't think so.
I would meet the kidnapper, and he would give me Alice. I wouldn't give him any other choice. A drowning man will clutch at a straw.
But are you a dirty drowning man, like Promise Song says?
Little by little, without realizing it, I'd come to
let's go home.
that the story in the manuscript was coming true. The current of its narrative had taken me deeper and deeper into dark waters. Alice had been taken from me. Barry was probably in jail. I was a fugitive from the FBI. The whole world taken over by the dark presence was trying to destroy me. It all felt real, but it matched a textbook case of insanity. Even during daytime, I was being stalked. The bridge must have collapsed only moments after I'd crossed it.
Oh, I was wondering if he was going to call attention to that, and yes, he did. Good job, game. You're pointing out logical inconsistencies. At least I don't have any demonically possessed loggers baying for my blood here. Who knew Alan was so good at off-road driving? For a writer, he's, you know, multi-talented. Suppose he's got to do a lot of research for his books, don't you know? I don't know what research involves all this stuff, really. Is that a page? A manuscript page I see over there? Or am I just seeing shit? I may just be seeing shit. See a cliff I can drive off of if I really want to. I think I'll pass, though, thank you. I know this is a utility vehicle, but it does not seem to me as if it's meant to be off-roading. Now that set of stairs I saw over there, they just lead up this way, I presume. Only way to find out, I guess. Yeah, they just lead up here. Alright, no big deal. Sounds like there's a radio in here, though, so let's go see what Pat Maine has to say. Probably aggravated by the fact that he was nearly shot. Understandably so.
This is Pat Maine, and you're listening to KBF-FM. Folks, I want to apologize for kind of abandoning you to that looping music track last night, but I was detained. You see, I encountered a big-shot G-man with an itchy trigger finger who could use a lesson in manners and a boot in the ass. Not necessarily in that order, either. Now, folks, I know I'm not being very informative here, and I apologize for that. I really should just keep quiet, but I'm just so peeved right now, because some people just shouldn't be carrying badges. And I'm just glad that our Sheriff Breaker was there to straighten things out. And if someone I met last night is listening, let me just say, I'm sorry if my mouth got you in trouble. I'm pretty sure you're not the bad guy here. Godspeed, son. I hope you know what you're doing. Now, on a lighter note, I'll be talking to Dr. Nelson all morning. But first, a little music.
You work the night shift, Pat. What are you doing here? What are you doing still on the radio? I like most of the characters in this game, but I really do like Pat Maine. I don't know, it's just nice, a nice touch in this game that you can just listen to him randomly on the radio throughout the course of it. Hill! No, no one must know of the hill. The hill is our little secret. What a sprawling eldritch place this town is. Oh, I like that car. I'm going to take that car. My utility truck seems like it's getting a bit worse for wear. What have we up here? Oh, I get to listen to Pat again. Alright then.
Welcome back to KBF-FM. Hope you enjoyed that tune. Now, Doc, you were talking about life and finding that special someone, that soulmate.
Well, you were talking about that. I was saying I don't buy it.
Well, see, to me, that's strange, because I always pegged you as a hopeless romantic.
You got me there, Pat. But I think love's where you look for it. And you need to do a lot of looking, sure. But the idea that there's that one special person out there for you, and if you miss that chance, it's gone forever, and you're forever incomplete. I mean, isn't that depressing? Or, heck, childish even? Hey, there's plenty of fish in the sea.
And apparently a fisherman has a fishing analogy for everything, but what you're saying, isn't that a little harsh?
Well, no. What I am saying is that your potential for finding that connection isn't limited to what's essentially a chance encounter. How is that harsh?
Yeah, well, I guess that's a nice thought, but let me say something personal here.
Hello, Rolls. Welcome back to the stream.
Well,
Hopefully you're having a lovely day.
I disagree with you exactly, but I can't really fit that together with what I feel, what I felt for someone, because she was the one. She was. And I let her drift away from me. Maybe I didn't put in the work, I don't know, but, well, since then, and it was a long time ago, but since then, there hasn't been anyone, not like her. And I'm not saying I dwell on her or haven't moved on. I like my life. I'm not living in the past, but I do miss the way she completed me.
You can't argue with the heart, Pat.
I'm sorry, folks. I had kind of a scary experience last night, and let's just say it's shaken a few things loose.
So that's Friday at 6, you're home. Ice cream has been acquired. For the first time since Sunday, you're happy. Ice cream, not bad, not bad. Honestly, after how hectic this week has been, I wouldn't mind having like a stiff drink of bourbon or something, but I don't have any whiskey in the house of any stripe, so... Although I might have a little bit back there, I don't know, I might have to check that. Although now you've got me wanting ice cream. You monster. Oh, I lost the door. Oh well, it's okay. I want this bitchin' car now. Your job here is done, you monster. You have installed the thought of ice cream in our minds. Now, is this where I need to go? Or do I need to go further down the road? I don't know. I think I need to go further down the road. Yeah, because this is kind of a wrecked area of the coal mine. Well, I mean, I think the entire coal mine area is kind of wrecked. It hasn't been used in decades. All the same, though, this game does reward exploration. Presumably. Oh wait, no, there's... Okay, yeah, there's another ladder. If I can get to it. Kind of stuck. Aha!
For Mott, spying on the writer on the ferry had been a disappointment. His boss had made Wake out to be something special, but Mott hadn't been impressed. He'd gotten a good long look at the wife, though, and he liked what he saw. Mott had fantasized about goading Wake into a fight, but it hadn't happened. Still, he'd get his chance to see if the writer had anything in him. He'd been promised as much.
Yeah, you never find out his name, I think, through anything other than the manuscript pages. But the kidnapper is Mott. That's his name. Whee!
I was early. I was supposed to meet the kidnapper at noon in the main building. The coal mine was quiet. It was a museum now.
You know, I really love exploring old buildings like this one. I haven't really had the opportunity to do it in person for quite some time. You know, with it being kind of dangerous and in certain instances illegal, and I'm becoming an old man. Falls Coal Mine. Bright Coal Falls Mine! Oh, that's actually connected to something. Huh, I thought that was collapsed. While lucrative at first, the mining steadily declined in the 20th century. The seams were rich, but hard to get at. And the volcanic activity in the area made the mine shafts particularly dangerous. Some of your customers have buildings built around the turn of the century. Something cool about going into a 100-year-old building. I think the building I work in has been around since the 1880s, to some degree? 1890s? Now, it's not much to look at on the interior, though, of course, because it's a very utilitarian building. It had multiple shops operating out of it, I think, for the longest while, and a couple of apartments in the upstairs, but now it's just entirely owned by this engraving company that I work for. There's a lot of old buildings around here.
With Nightingale gone and the night wind blowing in through the broken studio window, Maine stared at Sarah. The sheriff looked away. Maine's voice shook with barely controlled anger. That boy's doing more drinking than thinking. I hope you know what you're doing, Sarah. He's got a sickness in his eyes. You take my word for it. He wants Wake for a reason, and it's not for anything good.
Ah yes, the mysterious Agent Nightingale. I don't know how much you actually get an explanation as to what his deal is in this. They dive into it a bit more in the book, but not so much here. In 1970, a volcanic eruption below Cauldron Lake, while relatively minor, caused most of the deep mining tunnels to collapse or flood. 32 miners lost their lives in the calamity, and all mining around Bright Falls came to a final stop. Now, many of the remaining buildings are protected as historical landmarks. Not particularly maintained, but protected. Which is kind of a common thing with buildings who are declared as being historical landmarks. Oh no, that is actually, yeah, that has fallen.
I didn't want to go outside. Cops had to be looking for me. The noon sun turned the place into a sauna. The day dragged on. Different scenarios ran through my mind. Ways of how I'd torture the kidnapper to get Alice back. Or the different horrible things he could have done to her. I imagined her dead. I had no way of knowing she was still alive. It was killing me. I was running on blind hope. It was all a waste of time. The bastard never showed up.
I just hung out in this dilapidated building for no reason.
Wake!
Where the hell are you?
Change of plans. You know where Mirror Peak is? It's a big mountain north of where you are. You follow the path from the mine, you can't miss it. There's a lookout point there. I'll be waiting.
I'm through being jerked around
You
by
want to see your wife alive? Because if you do, you better watch what you say to me. Do we understand each other?
Sure thing,
talk
Mott.
to Alice.
Yeah, and I want the manuscript. Don't keep me waiting, Wake.
Hello?
Really freak him out and let him know I know what his name is.
I had to get to Mirror Peak.
That seems like a natural weather phenomenon.
Maybe closer than ever before.
It's perfectly fine, right? Wait, do I still have a... I do have a shotgun. Perfect. I'm actually pretty well equipped. Let's see how long that lasts. Not very. This game likes taking away all your items. Good news, Alan. We're going to take all your things. Ah, the air's doing that weird hazy thing again.
When Thomas Zane fell for Barbara Jagger, it happened fast. She was young, vibrant, and beautiful, full of life. He had never been a very happy man, and without any seeming effort, she had changed all that. Zane felt good for the first time in his life. Everything she did was another piece of a jigsaw puzzle he hadn't even known he'd been missing. And best of all, she made the words flow, strong and sharp. She was his muse.
And they lived happily ever after, the end. No. No, they most certainly did not. The fact that there is a giant case full of handgun ammunition in this abandoned coal mine that's now a museum is not reassuring. And there we go. Ah! Run, 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 run! I think I dodged right into that. Oh. I was all hung up on something. Are we done? I don't like how generous the game is being. It's not like you can hang on to absurd amounts of ammunition in this game anyway, but... Taking that. Switch over to those, as a matter of fact. They might come in handy pretty soon. Sooner rather than later at that. Hey, fella. Slaughtering so many townsfolk. What's the matter? You a little stuck in there? A little stuck in there, weird poltergeist thing? This was a bad idea. This is a terrible idea. Ow. I think there's actually an achievement I get if I use all of the batteries, so maybe I shouldn't be so conservative about their use. I get those achievements. It's a weird place for a tornado to be. What do you mean you're going to go get dinner rolls? You've got your ice cream. What more do you want? You're an adult, you can have ice cream for dinner, no one can stop you. We'll just silently judge you. Judge you because I don't have any ice cream.
The only way to reach the hillside ahead was to go through the building. I had to find a way to avoid electrocution.
Words to live by. Find a way to avoid electrocution. Sir, if they're giving me a vehicle. Now I just feel like I'm cheating. Of course, the more I do this, the more I damage the vehicle, but you know. Doesn't look like I can really bring it very far anyway. I get the distinct feeling they're not done chasing me, though. Hooray, I turned off the power. Hooray, that means I'm gonna be stuck in the dark. Nope, that's not what I want to do. I was trying to figure out how I boost the... Pressing that button boosts the battery. At this point, though, I think I'm just safer to get out. Let's just run away. I don't need to be dealing with these shenanigans. Okay, so am I alone in here? I'm probably not alone in here. That's good advice, but... damn it. Run, sir! Woohoo! 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 Ah! I ducked and weaved more than I should have. You have to do strategic ducking and weaving. These can't be actual miners, though, right? Because the mine has been decommissioned since the 70s, so... either these are just more foresters that are kicking around, or... which honestly, that seems more likely. Well, he folded up pretty good. It's like a cheap umbrella. I hear footsteps. I think I hear footsteps. Yeah. It's all fun and games until a shadow-covered lunatic lunges at you with a gutting knife. You know what? No. I refuse to have this encounter. Trust no one in the dark? I mean, that's sound advice. You can trust me, though. You can trust me anywhere. Presumably. hell am I going? Here? No. Oh, there's a ladder here. Yes. Ah, that's a rather fancy chair to be here. Maybe a little too fancy.
Some of the Taken retained echoes of their former selves, but these were just the nerve twitches of a dead thing. Nothing remained but a shell covered and filled with darkness. In most cases, these puppets were enough for the purposes of the Dark Presence. But for anything more elaborate, as with the writer, it was different. It needed his mind. And so rather than taking him over completely, it merely touched him.
Can you show me on this model where the Dark Presence touched you? In my mind! My soul! Ah! I didn't think that was going to be able to actually hit me, but it did scare me. Ah, nuts.
There was no way the flashbang grenades were standard power company equipment.
You don't know. They could be. No, muck. Is there anything back this way? Probably not. Of course, I'm not allowed to take the truck. That would make things too easy. Although, that being said, I don't think I'll be able to negotiate this wreck. I don't know if there's any purpose in me getting rid of these things other than my own personal satisfaction. Little do they know I have the high ground. Little do I know they can also attain the high ground. By the simple expediency of the ramp. Yeah, you. You know what? I refuse. I'm probably using up way too many batteries. Ah! God damn it. It's a lot more difficult than it should have been, let's be honest. Not to mention firing blindly is a surefire way for me to lose my ability to even fight back. Oh, is that a page? It's a page. Let's go get it. What's the story, Wishbone?
I stared through the bars of the jail cell. Barry stood behind me, swaying on his feet, looking as ill as I felt. Agent Nightingale stood on the other side of the bars with Sheriff Breaker. Nightingale had a stack of manuscript pages in his hand. He seemed unhinged as he gloated. Well, I've got you now, Raymond Chandler. It's all here. All the evidence, including conspiracy to murder a federal agent.
Much as I would like you to die. The light? Oh, let's see what's up here first. Hidden goodies by the looks of it. Yeah, let's hide this stuff in one of the darker areas of this place, huh? This seems like a good idea, considering I'm specifically, you know, that. And this! Frig this. Oh, big boy's still fine. If I didn't know better, I'd say whoever planted this stuff here is trying to get me killed. Not actually the case, of course, but I think I would be forgiven for thinking that.
I had no real plan. I was going to give the kidnapper all the manuscript pages I had for Alice. If that wasn't enough, I'd hold him at gunpoint and make him talk.
I presume the pump action shotgun is better? I don't know. I don't know for guns. Okay, I have to go that way. So what's over this way? God damn it. No! What's over this way is my imminent demise. It's a nice spiked bat you've got there. But you stay on. I need all the light I can get. But yeah, maybe this is just an alternative route to get to the same place, but there is a building over here, so let's check that shit out. Or, you know, possibly die. More flare gun ammo was not something I'm going to turn away. Or more flashbangs. And being basically being insta-kill things. It's just you by your lonesome? You can deal with it. Oh, there's a lot of them. Okay, you know what? Fuck the lot of you. Then Alan ran.
The dark presence was moving ahead of me in the same direction I was going. A cold feeling settled itself in the pit of my stomach. Was it going for Alice?
Or maybe it just wants to learn the rich coal mining history of this town. Who knows? Also, the death. You don't say. Oh, it's some of these guys. Well, I refuse. Running dangerously low on handgun ammunition, but I still have my shotgun, so... Well, that's nice. Stop that. No one told you to move.
The place was dead, a ghost town. Had been for decades, maybe a century.
And yet the still living barrows came to haunt me. I was getting attacked by haunted classic cars. I think I can see a manuscript page off in the distance. Oh, well, there's this one here, but I thought there was one further along. Could be mistaken.
Things were never as simple in real life as in fiction. I had lost count of the times I had wished there'd be a clear reason for my writer's block. Something to fight, something to lash out on. There wasn't. I was filled with doubt. I was nothing like the hero in my books. Alex Casey had gone through his life with single-minded determination, never wavering from his goal. Even now, I was angry at myself, angry at Alice, angry at Barry. I was fumbling and I had no plan.
Well, how does one plan for a situation like this, Alan? Maybe you should cut yourself some slack. Grey Peak Gorge. Originally founded in 1928, the Grey Peak Gorge mining town was one of the permanent settlements the Bright Falls Mining Company built for its workers. The nearby graveyard is a testament to the dangers the miners face on a daily basis. Most of the men who lost their lives over the years here were buried there. A grim reminder to be careful for those who remained. Grey Peak Gorge was abandoned almost overnight when the Bright Falls Mining Company closed its doors in 1970. What do we have in here? Random batteries I don't really need. Okay, that's not a manuscript page, it's just some random light, I think. Ah, you think you can deter me with debris? And old-timey tractors? Okay, you might be able to deter me with old-timey tractors, I don't know. Get one of those in the noggin probably isn't very comfortable. Excuse me while I just stand there and take it. Excuse me while I just stand there and take it. The precious light. I'm not even gonna bother. Let me in.
Key for the door.
But why, though? Ow. Let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in, let me in. Wait, can I not? Why won't it let me? Why didn't it let me? I must have... Like, it's entirely possible because it hit me mid-key unlocking animation. Maybe it glitched it out somehow? I don't know. Okay, yeah. That's what it was. Oh, well, this place looks cozy.
Anything outside of riding is a struggle. I feel ill. I managed to make my way downstairs. There's a shoebox filled with books and papers by Thomas Zane. It's very hard to focus, but I managed to read some of it. He's a poet, and a good one. He writes of muses and creators summoning fabulous things from a magic lake, using his powers to shape the world of a realm of gods and dreams and demons, dark things that wait for a chance to slip through, wearing the flesh of men as disguise. Zane writes about himself, his girlfriend being taken over by a dark presence, about growing scared of the lake. Zane believes it's a mirror to the gaping void of darkness above, where some Lovecraftian presence lurks. I crawl back upstairs. I'll borrow these things for my story. They ring true. They fit.
I'm going to plagiarize like a true creator. Maybe I should keep the shotgun, I don't know. Anyway, I have the hunting rifle now, that's all that matters. Now what?
The kidnapper had sent me a text. The message was full of spelling errors and insults. It was telling me to hurry up.
I tell him he needs to get himself an editor. Almost there. Running out of mountain to climb. It turns out he's actually talking about that mountain over there.
Birds.
I ain't scared of no bird. This is the most dangerous thing I've ever done. Do not enter. I'm a writer. I can go wherever I want. Oh, this way. Why, yes. What else goes on at Cauldron Lake? Always comes back to the lake, doesn't it?
Without warning, the headache stabbed at my brain. Alice?
Alice!
Alright then.
Losing it. I gotta get out of here.
Go into the lake.
I'm losing it. I gotta get out of here.
I'm losing it. I'm pretty sure I just drowned. Oh, there's a page down here.
The hunters were big, thick-set men, confident and at home in the woods. They were feeling good, running on beer, ghost stories, and camaraderie late into the night. It did them no good, as they were taken by the dark presence, sucked deep into a darkness far worse than any ghost story they ever told or heard.
I like how that explains all the people up here in this abandoned mining town. It's like, no, they're a bunch of hunters. Yeah, that's it. That makes sense, right? Ah, yes, this way, where the crevices in the ceiling. Surprised I haven't run into. Let's try that again. I'm surprised I haven't run into any taken down here yet. Guaranteed I will now, though.
Even behind the closed doors and curtains of his grimy room at the Majestic, the local motel, Nightingale could feel the locals' eyes on him, the unrelenting pressure of their judgment. He forced it out of his mind. For all he knew, they could all be under Wake's spell already. You do what you have to do to get the job done. He took comfort from the bottle in his hand. Please, he thought, just let me get through this.
I mean, you can kind of feel bad about Nightingale when you find out more about his backstory. But he's still kind of an asshole, and I really don't like him. Oh, no, you don't. Here I was thinking to myself, yeah, it's weird, I haven't run into any Taken yet. This mine will become my tomb! My tomb! Yeah.
I'd have to make my way up this mine shaft in order to go on. Maybe the machinery could help me with that.
You know, if the machinery was feeling obliging. If I sweet-talk the machinery. Hooray! Rudimentary puzzles! Everybody's favorite. Don't overleap. What's up this ladder? Probably the way I need to go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to get that up here. Try not to think about how breathing the air down here is probably shaving my life expectancy. Oh yeah! That's not how that works. Oh, yes, okay, I see what needs to be done. I've used my brilliant mind to solve this puzzle, hooray! Hey. Honestly, I don't know how badly I suffer from claustrophobia, but I feel like being stuck in an area like this would freak me out pretty badly. The mighty boot of Wake. Okay, I think I need to go that way. What's up here? Things! Delicious flares.
Light Lightning flashed behind the windows of Cauldron Lake Lodge. Tor Anderson laughed and held the steel hammer above his head. Nurse Sinclair was trying to calm him down without success. Tor grinned madly and shouted, "My hammer's up. Here's a friendly poke from Molnir, wench." He brought the hammer down with all his might on Sinclair's head. "We're on a comeback tour, baby."
Indeed. You know, I have guns and things. I can just shoot the kidnapper. Why don't I just shoot him? Solve all my problems via violence. Oh, no you don't. Screw you, birds! She just love generators that look like they're ready to explode at any given moment.
Cable car. Just great.
Who doesn't love a good cable car ride? And the red pump. That did nothing. That also did nothing. Why do I keep doing nothing? Close enough. Screw you guys. Actually, no. These are relatively weak taken. Using a flare gun on them just seems like it'd be a waste. That seemed unnecessary. What you cooking? Something good? You cooking anything at all? No, you don't. Ah! I keep thinking I hear the Taken's voices in the background, and it's very unnerving. Fucked a lot of you. Cauldron Lake, the 8th deepest lake in the world. Cauldron Lake is a caldera lake, formed in a volcanic crater. The volcano itself could be considered to be active, but it has not erupted since the volcanic earthquakes in 1970, and even then the underground activity was comparably mild. Despite some property damage, there were no casualties. Wait, didn't they say, like, the mine collapsed and killed so many people? Cauldron Lake is one of the most beautiful spots in the Bright Falls area, as well as a central figure in many local folktales. It's a popular recreational area for the area residents. It really shouldn't be. Wait, so that kind of makes you wonder, is every caldera lake cursed? Maybe. Just don't go to a caldera lake. You might get cursed. I thought it was really close to the Mirror Peak lookout. I am mistaken. Maybe it is that mountain I was looking at earlier? Quite possibly. Of course. We just gotta force them off of me. Back, you knave! They thought I was trapped with them, but in reality they were trapped with me. Oh hey! Yellow stuff. Cool.
Maud had checked all of Stucky's rental cabins. There had been no sign of the wakes. It was dark when he'd found their car parked at the end of the road by Cauldron Lake. It made no sense. They must have taken a wrong turn, but there was no sign of them, and the car had been there for hours already. Frustrated, Mott stood on the rotten ruin of the footbridge that had once led to Diver's Isle before it sank beneath the waves years ago. The boss wouldn't be happy.
Mott has an employer. Who could it be? I have finished this game before, so I know who it is, but it'll be a surprise to anyone who hasn't. It's like it's part of a building. What ruins have we here? The mighty telekinetic the mighty telekinetic boot. There we go. Boot is the word I was looking for, of Alan Wake. He kicks away, knocks over a friggin' pillar behind him. Oh, welcome back, Rolls. Hopefully you've had a good dinner. Better than my supper of 2 bowls of cereal and Pop-Tarts. It was okay. Oh, wait. Oh, of course, I gotta go into the spooky basement. That's fantastic, that is. I miss you, Tom. Did you write this? Tom. Tom. You talk to me on TV, Tom. CW and TZ. Some hints as to who's writing this stuff now, then. Well, that's fantastic. Cereal and Pop-Tarts for dinner sounds good. I mean, perhaps. Screw this. There. And then Alan ran. Come on. That could have gone terribly. It is going terribly. I'm gonna kill this one out of spite now. Yeah, no, I suppose my supper wasn't terribly bad. I really wish I had something more substantial, though. Maybe I will after I'm done streaming. Dig around in the freezer, see what I got that I can make quick.
I could see Cauldron Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat.
There's lights in the distance. Had the bread, I'd make myself a grilled cheese sandwich.
I had to get there fast. I dreaded what I would find.
Alas, all my bread went moldy yesterday. It's always tragic, at least to me, if you have a really good loaf of bread and it goes moldy before you can finish it off. I don't know, for whatever reason, to me, it always seems to be one of the most cataclysmic things, especially if it's homemade bread. It's just, I don't know, bums me out so bad.
I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period. Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now.
Rolls, you're one of those people who, like, on the day of the expiration date for things, you just won't eat it. For certain things, I am like that, but for others, it's like, you know what? There's ways to see if it's still good, and if it's still good, I'll go for it. Like eggs, for example. Like, a lot of times...
Wait! Hey, I'm here! I'm coming!
What?
No! Get away! I'm sorry. Please, it's late. The boss didn't know who he was messing with. I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know. We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is. She's probably drowned. We just said we had her to make him play ball. You see? To get him writing for us. Please. Please. Oh. I'm sorry. Please don't hurt me.
I'm sure he's fine. But yeah, like eggs. A lot of times eggs are fine even a week after the expiration date. But, you know, it's usually best to test them to make sure. I can't remember how that works, though. It's like you put them in a bowl of water, and I think if they float, they're bad. But hey, sometimes it is better to be safe than sorry, especially with certain foods. I mean bread. If bread has gone moldy, then, you know, that's it. Ah! That sounded distressing. Sounded like a pile of bones breaking just then. That's a really cool shot. I always like that shot in this game. End of episode 3. I'm going to take this opportunity to go get myself a glass of water. I might be tempting fate letting this song play out, but it's a good song, so I'll be right back. I really like this game's soundtrack. It's a very good, fitting collection of songs.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Nom nom nom. Devoured by the dark presence. The truth.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice. There you go, Alan. Hartman, I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you're
Distressing.
You lied.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
Bastard.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had bumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus.
Dr.
Only
Hartman
empty
gave me
sheets
the
of paper
good
here.
shit.
No manuscript pages.
Motherfucker, I wrote those. I want them back.
The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Let me out, 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 let me out.
Yeah, I see you brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message, loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good. This
Good thing you're
corridor
raging,
is
asshole.
for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip. Except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course.
Excuse me, I'm gonna break into this guy's room. This looks an awful lot like one of the areas of the game. Night Springs, the video game.
I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together.
So you've got me locked up, but you've got no problem with me breaking into other people's rooms. It's quite the tight ship you're running here, Hartman. Tight ship. Ah, the Anderson brothers, probably. Yep, there's their Viking regalia. I don't understand art.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you. We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature, Alan. We both know this. Everything can be explained logically.
Yeah, I think that's Mirror Peak over there, so the lodge would have been the lights I saw in the distance, I imagine. Beyond the shadow you settle for, there's a miracle illuminated, TZ, in memory of a dear friend and a poet. Thomas Zane, eh? Oh, there you are. You jerk. No. No. Nice place, even though it's run by an asshole.
Tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares, this should come as an immense relief to you. If it doesn't, why is that? Because I'm lying? Or because you don't want to admit that you're not well? It's very natural.
I don't really want to accept my wife's dead, but okay.
It's part of the illness.
I let him talk. Hartman obviously loved his own voice. His words echoed madly inside my head. I dug my nails into the palms of my hands to stay focused.
You need to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside. Here's the entrance to the office wing. That's for staff only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Pretty damn wonderful, yeah.
Mind telling me why that man is hanging out behind the couch?
Scary, scary, scary.
Oh, God.
Emerson.
I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson.
Okay, sorry. Boo.
That's Emerson. We're actually making some progress with him, I'm happy to say. He works on video
Elbow
games.
strike.
It's trash, of course, but it does involve some small creative effort, which makes him receptive to my therapeutic methods.
No kidding.
Sick burn on video games, apparently, in this video game.
Come, Alan, this way.
I'm being serenaded. Why would I want to come with you?
Oh, hello. I've painted you.
Okay.
I was just struck by inspiration a couple of days ago. Dr. Hartman wanted me to paint landscapes, and that's what I was doing. But now I've been doing these things, a lot of them. The images just keep coming. Dr. Hartman likes them. He has them in his office.
Yeah?
He's very proud of me. He says I'm getting much better. I think I'm getting better.
This is a painting of me? Is that meant to be me?
I guess I'd better start wrapping this up. The storm is almost here. Look at that. I'd hate to be out there tonight.
I mean, that's probably the expression Alan's had on his face the past couple of days, so it's accurate. It's probably pretty accurate. Just try it. You just friggin' try it.
Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony. The generator hadn't been activated, and there was no key.
Hey, look, there's another QR code. I feel like they might be the Knights of, Dusk and Dawn, maybe? I feel like... Oh, they might very well be, too. And I think they might have something to do with the Baba Yaga, which, in terms of folklore, which is fitting, because the Dark Presence's avatar is referenced as being Baba Yaga several times. So hey, this is the first time I've ever clued into that. Neat, that. Be a pretty nice place to live, if not for the fact that it's a questionable loony bin being run by a raging asshole. This raging asshole right here. The Creator's Dilemma, the engaging new book by Dr. Emil Hartman, the author of the best-selling Creative Flow, his groundbreaking techniques, engagement therapy, TM, and the flow, TM, explained in his own words, now available in bookstores across the country. This strikes me as the kind of man who nowadays would probably found his own religion.
Now, you might have noticed the typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
Welcome to Cauldron Lake Lodge. We're here to give you the specialized help you need. However, please observe the following. Please ask friends and family to schedule visits beforehand to ensure they don't interfere with your therapy and/or periods of creativity. Also, please respect your fellow patients' needs for privacy and personal space, which is why we leave their doors unlocked so you can rifle through their things, especially when they're engaged by their creative processes. Be patient. Why, you are patient. Typically, our patients have long-term creative problems, and they won't be solved overnight. Give yourself permission to take the time you need. Bear in mind that you're voluntarily receiving treatment that has been specifically tailored for you. Engagement therapy, TM, and its sister method, the flow, TM, work best when you are actively engaged in shaping them. If you have any concerns, please don't hesitate to voice them, so we will, not listen to them and shovel you full of drugs. There's a page in there. I want it.
My rheumatism's killing me. There's a storm coming. Oh, what a storm.
Nice brings the board game.
Wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had how should I put this? A heavy metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old Gods of Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image
I love his
of
squeaky
Viking
hammer.
gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny. Yeah! Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Say, you're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we'd forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
Where did you hide this?
My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy.
I guess this is the thing.
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. He, too, had a way with words.
That's when it's revealed Emil Hartman had something to do with Thomas Zane causing the shit in the first place, because of course he did. If I haven't stated it already, the Anderson brothers are possibly my favorite characters in this game. They're great.
Was
convinced he was lying to me. About everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
Tom, you got any
And one of them has a
booze on you?
squeaky hammer. What's not to love?
Yeah, no.
We
Sorry,
have a
guys.
stash of the special stuff at the farm. Our own formula. Local ingredients. Medicine clears your head right up. Makes you remember like moonbeams on the brain.
Oh, I just noticed! Leather patches on the elbows? That's not very rock and roll.
Tom just lost is all. Baba Yaga got to him too, the damn witch.
She used us all. Taken from all of us. Took my thunder, the witch.
And my ravens, what were they? Memory and thought, the hag.
She took something from you too, didn't she? That's what she does.
We're better off. This place, the lake, it gives you power. If you're a creator, an artist, God.
Nightmare shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake.
Yeah, that's the one. She makes sure it comes out twisted and wrong. Just ask the lamp lady. She knows what happened to that other writer.
She's been using you, boy, and you let her. You went and opened the door for her, didn't you?
Now, it was already open a crack. And whose fault is that? We're morally corrupt, disease-ridden, old and stupid.
Doesn't mean he had to open it all the way, goddammit.
So tired. Built the farm close to the lake. A place of power.
We had parties there, man. You should go there and have a party.
That Bob Balder threw the amp through the window. Hit that hippie chick in the back of the head. 15 stitches and a concussion. Bob's dead now. Leukemia.
Stitches, snitches, and narcs, man. Bad.
Isn't the death of Balder like the beginning of Ragnarok in Norse mythology? Explains a lot.
I am tired, man. So tired.
Yeah, I don't think I can actually go anywhere else. I just need to go back to my room.
I'm a bad dream, and you can't wake up. You can't hurt a nightmare because all dreams are only imagination.
I may need a hand here later on,
They're
Bert.
only
The
in
storm's
your
bound to
head,
make
and
you
they're
know
not
who
there
jumpy.
when
You know how they
wake
go.
up. So you can't wake up because I'm in charge now, and I don't want to disappear. My nightmare is the publisher people who want to make a contribution so they can say they made a contribution. And then we end up with mullets in there because they think mullets are funny, but it wasn't supposed to be about mullets, and now it's about mullets. And when it's in slow motion, they call it mullet time because the numbers came back from marketing that mullet time is the hook we needed to go big in the target demographic. And they're not even kidding. They say it all like serial killers with straight faces and smiles. My nightmare is the writers who want to make everything from the characters to the toasters talk all the time and express their feelings so they won't shut up. And the writers won't shut up either because they have feelings too. And I have to listen to them because they're not scared of me. And everyone should just shut up. Shut up. Shut up. But I don't see nightmares anymore because I'm too scary for them. I take 2 pills every morning and 1 with every meal and 4 when I go to bed. And that makes me the scariest nightmare of all.
Okay then. I can't help but feel that a lot of that, especially the whole mullet time thing, might have just been the people at Remedy talking about issues they had making the Max Payne series.
Hey, Wake, why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? The typewriter's in your room. You can get to your room by those stairs, Wake.
I came down those stairs earlier, man. I'm pretty sure I remember that. Unless I'm too drugged up to do so.
Something's wrong. I'm not myself. It's hard to think that there's a shadow inside my head. I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be.
That was distressing.
I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
I can't push my own door.
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Bert, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay?
I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here.
Where the hell did he get a dare? I don't know.
Here's a friendly poke from Mjolnir, witch.
Oh, afraid of the crazy brothers, are ya? Not so weak now, are we? Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they?
Hartman kept talking, giving Barry the grand tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped in mid-sentence, annoyed at the interruption. He nodded at the hulking orderly standing nearby. The man smiled and clapped a practiced hand on Barry's shoulder.
Oh no, not Barry!
It's my store. I'm
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. If she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I could get the key to the office wing from Sinclair.
The backstage is all yours, Tom. Seize your destiny.
I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
It's time to pay the piper.
You may have killed this woman, but okay.
Maybe you could come out and beat our wrinkled, adult diapered asses for us, since you're so tough, Birch.
We were on the road, man! You think we haven't seen punks like you before? Mortal knave!
Okay, then.
Yeah, you better hide, Birch. My wrath will break you.
He's probably kidding, Birch. He's got a great sense of humor. Just ask Sinclair.
I mean, should they really be leaving that painting outside? Because, yeah, that's the thing I'm concerned about, apparently.
Children of the Elder God! Scourge your light upon the dawn!
I love these guys.
Wow, wow, wow! I wish I had my axe.
Oh, memory and power.
And we'll be able to hear the entirety of that song at some point later.
The photo on the wall caught my attention. In it, the clinic staff was standing outside the lodge. I knew the man next to Hartman. He was the kidnapper. Hartman had been playing me all along.
No shit.
Let me out of here! Hartman, do you hear me? I'm gonna sue your crazy quack ass.
The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made of the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
These are some real cool paintings, but they're also very disturbing. That one's really cool, though. Oh, they're all pretty cool. What is that? Is it a kitten? Might be a kitten. These are Taken. So it's just painting... The dude is just painting Taken now.
Hartman wasn't happy. Mott could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time, and he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for, to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan.
You have any idea how much I make as an agent of a best-selling writer? A lot. Is a personal check good?
Barry?
Ow!
What are you doing with me?
Barry, man, am I glad to see you. We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. Speaking of asses, that Fed gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue where you were. That guy's crazy, Al. But he let me go, and then I get a call from Hartman, that son of a bitch, who tells me you're here, and I should come pick you up, but when I got here, 2 goons clobbered me and stuck me in there.
What's with the cutout?
I stole it from the diner to piss off Rose after what she did to us. That'll teach her.
Yeah,
classy move, Barry.
That's
Classy
a harsh
move.
punishment. Come on, pal, we gotta get going.
Classy move. Also, why would Hartman tell Barry that I'm here? It would have been easier for him to just, like, ignore that I was here and, like, just let Barry go on his way.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Oh, I forgot to listen to the tape recording
Alan,
back in the other room.
please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Oh, Al, let's just...
Go!
I'm going to kill this man.
Listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
That smile. And then we never see him again. We honestly don't. That's the last you ever see of Hartman.
The dark presence would be on me in a moment. I had to find a way out.
Okay, I can't go in there. Anyway, I forgot to check the tape recordings, but all the tape recordings would have told me are... Alice had called Hartman a bunch of times throughout the course of, like, leading up to this because she was planning on having him help Alan. So all the times that Mott put Alice on the phone, while I assumed she was kidnapped, he was just using cut-up bits of that recording to make me think that they had her. That's all it was. The darkness is coming! The darkness is coming! Well, that helps. You've officially cracked open the ice cream, you monster! Although I'm happy for you, don't get me wrong. You enjoy that ice cream, good sir. Ow. Well, I get pelted by anything that's not nailed down. Big stuffer. Big stuffer hot habanero. What a brand. Just have to use this up right away. Okay, I think this was one of the pages I picked up when I got, all the pages
Hartman
back.
followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was finally within his reach.
What kind of ice cream do you have, Rules, though, come to think of it? I'm surprised I haven't actually asked that yet.
Hartman knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front. And he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Hartman trying to manipulate the dark presence. Oh, just the ice cream bars with the herd fudge covering? Man, that's all you need. Oh. Oh god. There's a lot of product placement in this game. This is a car commercial for some insane reason. And here, of all places, is where you see it. Like, in the middle of escaping... In the middle of escaping this goddamn lodge where you've been held. Oh, and then there's this Verizon commercial.
Verizon Wireless has you covered. Check out the latest games.
Why?
Discover new music and old favorites. Social networking, sports scores, news.
With the intense music playing in the background.
No matter what you're into, Verizon Wireless can satisfy your never-ending appetite for apps.
Oh, look at that
VCast apps and
early 2010s phone. It is kind of cool that you can see the reflection of the room in the TV, though. That's a nice touch. Say what you will, but that battery will last an entire zombie apocalypse. Good point. They don't make them like they used to. Come on! Do it! Kill me! Do it now! Okay, I didn't actually mean it. I didn't actually mean it, and then I run into it. Okay, I feel like my best bet is to let it come into the hallway and then run around it. I'm still probably gonna get hit at least once. Although it might be stuck over there. Anyway. Just get the hell out of here. Oh.
Ow! I'm here!
Be with you in a minute, Barry. First, we need to explore!
Hey, come on! You gotta get going!
No.
I found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Barry, I don't have a light.
Take this, Al! Oh, God! Look at the house, Al! Look out!
Oh god, it's just like that haunted house in the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. I think now's a good time to leave. Son of a bitch! Barry, couldn't you have just gotten in the car and rammed down the gate? I feel like that would have been a more expedient solution to our problems. It doesn't look that sturdy, and you have a big truck. Rather than have me go through this goddamn hedge maze. Has The Shining taught you nothing?
Al, hurry up! I can hear those evil guys moving around!
I'm telling you, man, get in the truck, ram down the gate. Some Hartman's hunting buddies, I suppose. Don't trust a meal. Gee, thanks. Coincidentally, one of Stanley Kubrick's 2.5 good movies. Okay, I have to ask, what are the other 1.5? Specifically, I'm wondering what the other half good movie is. It seems like a weird metric to judge by.
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-size stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a deafening boom and the music started blasting, it felt strangely appropriate.
The other full good movie, A Clockwork Orange. Okay, I can see that, but what's the half good movie? What makes the half of the 2.5?
Al, be careful! I can see them moving around! They're coming for you!
One more comment to keep me in suspense. Damn it, Rolls, don't do this to me! Don't do this to me! What's the half? Stop playing games! And then his internet connection gets severed, keeping me in suspense forever. First half of Full Metal Jacket. I've never actually watched Full Metal Jacket all the way through, and honestly, the first half is probably the only part I remember. So hey, maybe you're right. First half boot camp. What? Fighting makes people sad. Yeah, first half boot camp, second half Vietnam. You only like the boot camp part. I can see that. Well, I mean, the first half had that guy, right? Early Ermy, I believe his name was, or something like that. Dude who was an actual drill sergeant.
Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been riding, and he had woken something up in the depths of the lake. Now, it was coming for him. Hartman had naturally prepared for a situation like this. The idiot brothers would keep Wake distracted while Hartman double-checked everything, just to be sure.
And yet Hartman fell prey to the dark presence like a chump. He wasn't prepared for diddly squat. Apparently the way he got the role was he was a consultant for the movie and was teaching the actor who was supposed to play the drill instructor. Kubrick liked him so much he gave him the role. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's like, why get someone and try to teach him how to be a drill instructor when you have a drill instructor and he didn't even really need to do any acting. He was just being himself, you know? It only made perfect sense. Nice gazebo. Gazebo you need? That probably requires some explanation. There's like a neighborhood of St. John's called Airport Heights, and back in the mid to late 2000s, I think it was, there were a bunch of kids up there. I say kids, they were probably like late teens or something, which are kids to me now, of course. They formed together like a jokey rap band that they called Gazebo Unit, because there's a gazebo that all the kids used to hang out at up in Airport Heights. So they just made a bunch of ridiculous songs.
Bells in the morning, and then you'll be nice and calm all day long.
That was a terribly disturbing line to cut back into the game with. Pills in the morning. Hi, Birch.
Like seems to be
You go to hell, Birch. Fucking birds. Come on, there's gotta be something good in here. Flare gun? Wait. Fuck you, Birch. He is the toughest Taken I've had to deal with so far. I wasn't expecting that. I completely forgot about it. Are we there yet? 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 It's a fancy looking barrel. I call shotgun.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, He seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Because Mott's a creep and I'm glad he's probably dead. Hello! I didn't see you there. Motherfucker just came out of the bush. I love how they ragdoll when you kill them. All of a sudden they just randomly pinwheel. I'll be taking this. Well, of course. See, I can already escape. I'm just destroying the door just cause. What are pages around here?
For the moment, Barry was just glad he had survived the fall. He had been separated from Al, and there was no easy way to climb back up. He told himself he'd be okay in the gloomy forest at night. He would just have to wait for a while for Al to find his way down. Barry turned when he heard the heavy footsteps and saw the movement. The man-shaped shadow lunged at him from the bushes, an axe held high. Barry screamed and threw up his hand. The world exploded.
You'd think if Wake had found this page, he'd warn Barry about this, but no! No, he doesn't. Apparently he doesn't tell anybody about the shit he finds in the pages. And Neil made Tom do it. Sounds about right. Sounds like the kind of thing he'd do. Force a man to do it. Oh, no you don't. I curved a bullet just like I wanted! Not really, I just got a lucky shot in. So many firearms and such that they keep around this place of healing.
Hartman watched as Wake's features slackened. The man was bullheaded, no doubt. Even lying on the bed, he'd almost broken Hartman's nose the second time. But with a little time, he could break Wake down, give him proper direction. Wake was easily the most promising subject he'd had. Well, since Tom, really. Sleep well, Alan, Hartman whispered with a smile. Let me take care of you. He sniffed hard to clear his throbbing nose, swallowed blood, and barely tasted it.
I'm coming, Barry! Pumping my crazy rider legs. My crazy rider legs have run out of juice.
You're alive! Let's get out of here. Can you open this gate?
Maybe.
Barry.
Well, I slammed it shut when the nasty showed up, and the key fits kind of loose in the lock, so, Barry, I'll find it. Don't worry about it.
How about you find it real quick? Kinda got a problem here.
Hurry up! up, Barry. I'm on it. I'm on it.
Be on it faster. Okay, you know what?
I'll be here. Just hang on, Al.
How nice of the big boys to just wait for me.
Oh, hey, found a quarter.
Hanging out by the door seems like a bad idea. Get the hell out of here! The standee is still there.
You're now leaving Bright Falls. Come back soon sign.
We're going to the Anderson farm.
I knew you were gonna say something like that. You know what? You owe me big time for this. When this is through, if we make it, I don't care what anybody says, I'm done with darkness. You're gonna buy me a tanning bed as a gift, and I'm gonna live in it.
That seems remarkably unhealthy. You wouldn't be living for long. Think of all the skin cancer.
I'm crazy, but that's fine, Barry.
Oh, you got that right, Al. You're barking mad. You are by far the craziest—
But maybe that's inevitable when you deal with crazy stuff like this. It helps. This is happening, Barry. Alice, they never had Alice. She's trapped in the darkness at the bottom of the lake, but she's not dead.
Al, how can you know that?
I know, Barry. I can—
Al,
No, listen. I can bring her back. I can find her. There's something special about this place. The lake, it does something to the works of art created here. It makes them come true. But there's a catch. The dark presence, whatever that thing is, twists it to its own ends. That's why all of this is happening. It's using my manuscript to take over everything.
Al, I believe you.
It happened to Thomas Zane before, it happened to the Andersons.
I believe you. Crazy or not, you're not delusional. Weird shit's going down. That's a fact. I'm on board, man. I'm with you.
The Andersons knew about it, but they were too far gone to tell me with all the drugs they were on. But they wrote it down. There's a message somewhere at their farm, Barry. You just need to find it. Look out!
Why are you telling me to look out? You're the one who's driving. Okay. Whatever, Barry. Whatever. I really gotta stop getting into car crashes.
God damn it, Al, talk to me!
You might want to look out for a dude with an axe, Barry. I have it here on this page. Oh great, I've lost all my shit.
Barry was nowhere to be seen.
You have to stay with the car when you're in an accident, Barry. You should know this.
Barry! Barry!
Oh, man, you're okay! Jeez, it's good to hear your voice! I was trying to get out of the car, but the ground gave way! Man, what a drop! Don't worry, your cutout is fine.
Forget that! Are you okay?
I hit some bushes, didn't get a scratch. There's no way you can climb down, though. It's like a sheer wall.
And I could jump. I'm sure I'm only gonna break one leg.
Al! There's something moving down here!
Barry, it's a taken! Use a flare, Barry!
Oh, yeah!
Barry, are you alright?
I'm good.
Ah, there he is.
I'm great! Guess you never messed with anyone from New York City before, huh?
You take the low road and I'll take the high road.
I'll be waiting!
Barry, just wait for me, okay?
Al! I'm not staying here! It's suicide! I'm going to the farm! I'm gonna go ahead and secure the area! You can catch up! Don't worry about it! I'm on the case!
Now he's Rambo. This would turn into a disaster if I didn't catch up with Barry.
Or wing him on the head with this can I just kicked off of the old rail bed. Probably go a little bit further. Probably just wait to change that. Ah, jeez. This is a problem. I made a terrible mistake. I didn't want my life to end via wheelbarrow. Well, I mean, that works. Now the dark is screaming at me. That's not a good sign.
When he stopped the car at the Anderson farm, Walter felt relieved. Oblivion was close at hand. The brothers wouldn't miss a jar of moonshine or two in the booby hatch. But then he saw the man on the porch, and he knew who it was. Driving for his life and knowing it was useless, he didn't realize he was crying until he couldn't see the road for the tears.
Oh yeah, Walter, that's the guy we found in the jail cell who was locked up for beating the crap out of his buddy. Pretty sure Walter's dead. Poor fella. Poor drunken fella. I suppose I should be grateful I'm dealing with poltergeist activity and not actual taken, but I don't feel that grateful about it. Ah, nope, that's a barrel. He says with fear in his voice. Dodge and weave, Alan. Dodge and weave. A for effort, Barrel.
Shadows crawled over the gate. I needed a light to destroy them to get rid of them.
Ah. That'll do it. First we have to go off the beaten path, of course. The page.
I hoped there'd still be a working generator somewhere around here to power up the old lights by the... Agent Nightingale stared at the passed-out rider. The man was sleeping off one hell of a night. Nightingale felt a stab of envy at Wake's oblivion, but he had a job to do. He put the gun to Wake's head and almost became a murderer. His hand shook and his throat felt tight and dry. Biting his teeth, he tried again to pull the trigger. He lost the nerve. Wake stirred. Nightingale would have to settle for an arrest.
And Wake's like, oh yeah, I'm going to almost get murdered soon. That's good to know. See a bunch of birds in the distance, I don't like that. No, I don't think it was actually birds. I think it may have just been, trees.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
I'm gonna play until I get to the next checkpoint. Which might be actually a really great part of the game, I'm not sure. I kinda want to save that for the beginning of the next stream, though, because it's something we have to really fully appreciate. Good to know! I do not have time to set up that generator. What I do have time to do is run like hell. Go into the light, my son! Jesus Christ! Jesus! Ah! So close, yet so far.
I could sense the movement in the woods ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Okay, maybe I have to book it towards that generator and use it. I can't recall.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
That's just cruel. That's just cruel. Jesus Christ. Okay, note to self. The generator is a trap.
Ahead. Facing the enemy without a weapon was dangerous, but I had no choice.
Generator's a trap. Ignore the generator. Just book it.
Omega-3 fatty acids are good for your heart.
I don't know how much I'm going to be getting that sage advice, because I imagine I'm going to die frequently at this part. Like... Oh, thank God. Holy crap.
A car was driving away from the farm, headed in the same general direction as I was. For all I knew, it was Barry, caught in the consequences of leaping before looking.
But I know better. I know it's Walter. Because I've got the mystical magical page. Ooh, better flashlight. I want the better flashlight. Next checkpoint. I'll get to the next checkpoint, and that's probably going to be enough for tonight.
The car was heading for the cabin up ahead. It wasn't far. If
I'll
it
wait
was
till I
Barry,
get to the cabin.
I would see the damage soon.
Still no weapon. Not happy about that. What?
I'm trying to deliver each page to the right time and place. I'm trying to show you how the story goes.
Is that you, Jesus?
I had seen glimpses of the light before. I had seen it in my dream. It was a strange spaceman or a diver in a bulky suit. He was the one who'd been placing the pages on my path.
Thanks, Jesus.
The dark presence followed the choreography laid out to it in the manuscript, growing stronger and stronger, moving like a storm from one scene of destruction to the next. but it was still bound to follow the story and chained to the dark place it came from. When the story reached the end it longed for, it would finally be free.
Then the story must never end. It'll be the never-ending story. Then Alan will definitely get sued. Oh, more bear traps. Not get caught in one of these, for it will spawn taken, and then I don't have any means of fighting back. Oh, thank God. Alright, let's go check out the cabin. That's not the cabin.
The storm raged on as the Anderson brothers walked unsteadily away from the clinic with the other patients in tow, knowing that this time they wouldn't return. The darkness around them seethed with horrors, but Tor and Odin were unafraid. Their eyes glinted with guile. They knew every secret path, and there was blood on their hands. They had fought these shades before.
I like how they give us this just to reassure us, as the patients got out fine. Tor and Odin know what's up. Oh, thank God, a gun.
Someone had left a gun behind. Now I had a fighting chance of reaching the farm.
So many bear traps. It's rude to throw things at the back of people's head. Don't be rude. They're going to keep spawning, aren't they? I just have to keep going, don't I? Ah! Oh, there's more. Run to the light! I swear to God, if I got nicked and died after getting to the light... Is anybody home?
Hello? Anybody here? Barry!
No! Danny, you're not! Please! What are you? No! Don't! I'm sorry!
I could help that man, but I need to loot.
I know you. You were in jail the other day.
I went to the farm again for the moonshine, you know? It makes you see. They're not gonna miss it. They're in the loony bin. But my buddy, Danny, I lost him. Something's gone wrong with him. It's not him. Like a real bad follow-up to a real good movie.
The best friend's suddenly the bad guy. Who wrote this crap anyway?
The answer is me. I wrote this crap. And now you're dead. You're dead and I have nothing to say about it, apparently. Though it's entirely my fault.
I've run through every possible course in my head. If I continue like the Dark Presence wants me to, the story I'm writing won't save Alice. It's a horror story, and it's going to kill her, and me, and everybody in this town. No one will survive. Darkness will consume everything. This is what it's wanted all along. It will be free, unstoppable. It used Alice to get to me, dangled her in front of me to keep me going. It was never going to release her. I'm going to change this. I'll escape. I've written myself into the story. I'm now the protagonist. This feels like a terrible risk, but it's the only way to save Alice. I'll be bound by the events of the story just as much as anyone else who's been woven into it. The story must stay true for this to work. There have to be victims along the way, near escapes, cliffhangers. In a horror story, it can't be certain that the hero will succeed or even survive. He almost has to die. I'll write my own escape into the story next. I need help. Zane's going to be the one who'll help me. I'll make it happen.
And this is where it starts getting confusing, because you have to wonder how much of this is that stuff Alan just created. And that just confirms that this man is dead because of me. Ladies and gentlemen, our hero. Hi, Danny. I presume this is Danny anyway. Damn it!
Let me guess. Danny, huh? The front door was locked.
Oh, go through the window then.
The farm was still a good distance away. I'd need a car to get there fast.
Thankfully, there's that truck. No sign of Walter's car, though.
For a moment, Hartman considered strangling the idiot. Mott was mean-spirited, but easily manipulated. An emotional infant who lived for his approval. Wake, by contrast, was a far more difficult subject. Mott had given him too much leash. In 2 days, who knew what could happen? Hartman would have to find a way to rein him in, and quickly.
Anyway, on that note, I'm unfortunately going to have to call it quits for the night. Oh yeah, I completely forgot that the background actually changes depending on what chapter you're in. Neat touch. Anyway, that'll do for this for the evening. Just give me a moment here to do my whole closing thing. And hum to myself, apparently, you know, as one does. So, anyway. I'll hopefully be able to stream again on Sunday. If I do, I'm probably just going to be... See, because I don't really have a Retro Sunday game in mind anymore. You know, I just couldn't think of one that I could do this year that I have enough time to do. So, what I'll probably do is I'll just do some more of the Haunted PS1 demo disc thing. And I'm hoping I'll be able to get a fairly decent chunk of time to stream on Sunday. If not, I'll just do a little bit, do a few more of those games. And yeah, we're winding down to the end of the month. I'm not going to be able to get as much done as I would have liked, but you know what? As long as I finish Alan Wake and get through most, if not all, of those Haunted PS1 demos, I'll be fine. And maybe throw in a couple of viewer requests. Like, there's a couple of games in particular I know some people usually... Well, I mean, some people will want me to do this Halloween, so we'll throw those in. So yeah, if you happen to stop by to watch, I thank you very, very much for doing so, and hopefully you find folks to join me next time. But until then, as always, I wish you a farewell. I hope you have a great night. So long for now.